Hi, sixth graders. I'm hoping that this video will help to clear up some confusion from class time and to also help you to understand exactly what I'm asking you to do for homework tonight. So before I talk to you about the homework, let's just take a moment to review what we know to be true about researching well. First, you want to make sure that you spend time getting ready. In this case, I've already collected resources for you because our whole class topic is activism. So I'm using articles, resources, videos from this Padlet, and so are you for right now. So here are some of my resources. I might start looking across them and see what's there, what's interesting to me that I might want to read or use today, or maybe for you tonight for homework. Then once I have my resources there, I'm thinking about what I might want to look into, what articles, videos, texts stand out to me. I want to make a selection and then prepare to take notes. So I'll walk you through how I do this. I was thinking that an interesting article for me might be this one here. This can be the year you become an activist, because I feel like I've learned a lot about kind of like what activism is and different examples of activists, but I kind of want something that's a bit more concrete. So I'm thinking that this is a good subtopic for me to research into, thinking about what exactly it takes to become an activist and how you do it. Okay, so now I have my article selected. And when you do your homework tonight, you'll do the same thing. You'll look at the Padlet, you'll pick something from those first three columns and go from there. Now that I have my article, I'm going to look across it to see what will be the best note-taking structure for me today. Okay, I'm going to use what I know I should use whenever I start a nonfiction text, which are text features. The text features like the title, the photos, the captions, the headings, the subheadings, that stuff will give me a lot of clues as to how the text will go and what it will be teaching me. When I get a little bit of a sense of that, I'll then probably be able to make a good decision about what note-taking structure will work for me and to stay organized. So watch me as I do this. How to get involved in activism for the first time. Okay, so this seems to definitely be what I was thinking so far, like how to. So maybe it'll be steps. Let's just look a little bit deeper and see, are there steps here? Is that how it's organized? You have a photo of some activists. They look like they're at the Women's March, so this looks like it's pretty relevant, like recent. How can I start off the new year making the world a better place? Okay, so this is like for people who want to do good but just don't know how to get started. Oh, it is organized by steps. Step one, finding your passions, learn, take action, preserve. Okay, that's really helpful. So now that I'm looking at the text just across it, not reading much yet, I can see that it's probably going to be teaching me how to become an activist, and it's going to be organized in steps. So step one, step two, step three, step four. Okay, so now that I have taken some time to get ready by looking at my resources, choosing something that is interesting to me that could help me understand activism more, I'm now thinking about how the text will go that I'm going to be using. I'm starting to think about how I'll organize my notes. I'm then going to move over to my note-taking document or my research notebook, and I'm going to start a new entry. So you've seen me work on mine. Yours probably looks pretty similar to start. You have the date, the title, and the source, and then some notes from the first day or so. I'm going to go to a new section. And I'm just going to make a clean space for myself to get started. Today is 120, title, just source. We'll have to look at that again on the activism web. Okay, how to get involved in activism for the first time from Teen Vogue. Okay, I'm setting up my page. And now I need to figure out how I'll take my notes. And I think that the best thing for me to do would be to probably look at those different sections, like step one, step two, step three, step four. If you feel like you have a way right off the bat, after looking at the text and previewing it of how you'd want to take notes, go for it. For those of you who are getting stuck at this part, I recommend looking at my note-taking templates. This is now on Google Classroom attached to this assignment for today. So I've made a document called note-taking templates, and these are just for you to see some of the options you could choose from, and also to copy and paste into your own document. So right now I'm looking across to see if anything fits maybe what I have from my own article I'm looking at. So does anything here is it anything here going to be helpful for me with my step-by-step article? So I'm not looking at a specific activist, so that probably isn't the best thing to do. I could do part to whole because it's like the part of the text and then thinking about how it connects. So maybe I could have each part could be, maybe I could just copy this in, copy it here, put it in my notes. Maybe it could go like this. So it'll be like, I can have the intro and I'll talk about what that is. Step 1, which is about finding your passion. Step 2, step 3, and then the step 4. These all are coming, by the way, right from the article. So I'm just thinking that this could be helpful for me because it'll help me to keep track of the parts so I don't miss anything. Then as I read, I'll take notes on each part. And then when I'm done taking notes across, I'll think about how they all kind of connect together and think about maybe possible big ideas. So that's one thing I could use today. What else could I use? Part to whole could be helpful. Oh, I also could use boxes and bullets. So this might be helpful too, because it's organized kind of similarly where the template here is asking me to look at each part and then also come up with a big overall idea. I like this one too, because it lets me focus on the details. So I'm going to try this one out. Okay, so how might this go? Let's try it on another page. So if I'm looking at the first section, I'll read a little bit of it and see how can I start the year off by making the world a better place. It can be difficult to figure out the best way to help, but there are many actions that can create a beneficial effect. Okay, so I'll add some notes. So far I'm seeing in that first section, becoming an activist can be hard, seems like it says, but it's beneficial, so it's a good thing to do. Activism helps your community. What else? These actions, both large and small, have significant results. When beginning your journey into the world of activism, the options can seem somewhat overwhelming. Currently, there are hundreds of wonderful campaigns focused on various issues, but you're only one person. That is why we start at, and then it gives me this step. So it's definitely the introduction, and it tells me how it seems like, let's see what else I can write down before I make any big ideas about it. So becoming an activist can be hard. Activism helps your community. There are steps you can take to make it easier. So do you see how I'm going part by part. I'm looking at just the intro, taking some details down and then thinking, well, what does this all tell me? This part is mostly about how activism is challenging, but worth it. Seems like that's true for the whole part. Then I would repeat the same steps for the next section. Step 1, finding your passions. And I would start writing details here and then trying out that big idea. So now I've showed you 2 different ways you could take notes. You could take notes by thinking about parts and how they connect to the whole. You could think about some main ideas in each section. You also, if you go to the template, could think about what you think before you read the text, while you read the text, and then after you read the text. So if you're the kind of person who likes to make predictions and then check to see if they're true, if you like to do a little bit of a scavenger hunt, maybe you copy and paste this template into your notebook. Maybe you just want to write about it. You want to maybe just do one of those free writes, write long. Maybe you use my chart here as another possibility. And then finally, you could take notes within the text structure that you see. It seems like this is a step-by-step process, so maybe I could make like a timeline of how it goes. But other text structures that you know well are cause and effect, problem solution, compare and contrast. So your note-taking structure could also reflect what the structure of the text itself is. So to recap what you're doing today for homework, tomorrow in class, is you are starting a new entry in your ongoing note-taking document for an article or a video or an interview from our Padlet. Then you're choosing a structure that you could use or two, and then you're adding on to your entry here by using the note-taking structure to capture your thinking as you read the text. Because the big thing really is that not only are you just reading text and writing stuff down, but that you're writing stuff down in a way that's organized and structured so that you can remember what the text really was teaching you and use it to help you to understand the topic as a whole. I hope that this is helpful. If you are still confused, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. I look forward to seeing what structures you choose to use and what articles you select from our Padlet. I'll see you tomorrow.